I can't be sure of how much of what he told you. So in the chance you're in the dark about some of this, let me shed some light.
That whore your boy hangs around with? Her pimp is an associate of mine. Not just pimping.
In other affairs, he works for me in a courier capacity. Well, apparently that dirty little whore found out when we're gonna do business.
'Cause your son, the cowboy in his flame, comes in blazing, and they don't stop until everybody's dead.
I'm talking about a massacre. They snatched my narcotics and hightailed it out of there. Would have got away with it, too. But your son, the fuckhead that he is, left his driver's license in the hand of a dead man.
You know, Sicilians are great liars. The best in the world. I'm Sicilian. I'm Sicilian.
I'm Sicilian.
I'm Sicilian. My father was the heavyweight champion of Sicilian liars. Growing up with him, I learned the pantomime. A guy's got 17 different things he can do when he lies to give himself away. 17 different pantomimes. A woman's got 20, but a guy's got 17.
But if you know them like you know your own face, they beat lie detectors all to hell. Now, what we got here is a little game of show and tell. You don't want to show me nothing, but you're telling me everything.
I know you know where they are.
So tell me. Before I do some damage you won't walk away from.
I can't be sure of how much of what he told you. So in the chance you're in the dark about some of this, let me shed some light.
That whore your boy hangs around with. Her pimp is an associate of mine. And I don't just mean pimping. In other affairs, he works for me in a courier capacity. Well, apparently that dirty little whore found out when we're going to do some business.
Because your son, the cowboy in his flame, came in the room blazing and didn't stop till they were pretty sure everybody was dead. I'm talking about a massacre. They snatched my narcotics and hightailed it out of there. Would have got away with it. But your son, fuckhead that he is, left his driver's license in a dead guy's hand.
You know, Sicilians are great liars. The best in the world. I'm Sicilian. My father was the world heavyweight champion of Sicilian liars. From growing up with him, I learned the pantomime.
There are 17 different things a guy can do when he lies to give himself away. A guy's got 17 pantomimes. A woman's got 20, but a guy's got 17.
But if you know them like you know your own face, they beat the lie detectors all to hell. Now, what we got here is a little game of show and tell. You don't want to show me nothing, but you're telling me everything.
I know you know where they are.
So tell me, before I do some damage to you, you will not walk away from.
Well, it's like that movie, An Affair to Remember. Did you ever see it?
Oh, God. Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr. Is it Carr or Kerr?
Okay, she's going to meet him at the top of the Empire State Building, only she got hit by a taxi.
And then she's too proud to tell him that she's, crippled.
And he's too proud to find out why she didn't come. But he comes to see her anyway. I forget why.
But oh, it's so amazing when he comes to see her because he doesn't even notice that she doesn't get up to say hello.
And he's very bitter. And you think he's just going to walk out the door and never know why she's lying there, like on the couch.
With this blanket over her shriveled little legs.
And suddenly he goes, I already sold the painting. And he goes to the bedroom and he looks and he comes out.
And he looks at her and he kind of just...
They know.
And then they hug and it's so... God.
Well, it's like that movie, An Affair to Remember. Did you ever see it?
Oh, God. Carrie, Grant, and Deborah Kerr? Is it Carr or Kerr?
It's Kerr.
Okay, she's gonna meet him at the top of the Empire State Building.
Only she got hit by a taxi. And he waited and waited. And it was raining, I think. And then she's too proud to tell him that she's
crippled. And he's too proud to find out why she didn't come. But he comes to see her anyway. I forget why, but it's so amazing when he finally does see her, because he doesn't even notice that she doesn't get up to say hello. And he's very bitter. And you think that he's just gonna walk out that door and never know why she's just lying there with a blanket over her shriveled little legs. And suddenly he goes, I already sold the painting. And then he goes to the bedroom and he looks and he comes out and he looks at her. Then he kind of just, they know. And then they hug. And it's so good.
So it's a chick flick.
As you know, I'm quite keen on comic books, especially the ones about superheroes. I find the whole mythology surrounding superheroes to be fascinating. Take my favorite superhero, Superman.
Not a great comic book. Not particularly well drawn. But the mythology is not only great, it's unique.
Now, a staple of the superhero mythology is there's the superhero and there's the alter ego. Batman is actually Bruce Wayne. Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker. When that character wakes up in the morning, he's Peter Parker. He has to put on a costume to become Spider-Man, and it is in that characteristic Superman stands alone.
Superman didn't become Superman. Superman was born Superman. When Superman wakes up in the morning, he's Superman. The alter ego is Clark Kent.
His outfit with the big red S. See, that's the blanket. He was wrapped in as a baby when the Kents found him.
Those are his clothes.
What Kent wears, the glasses, the business suit, that's the costume. That's the costume Superman wears to blend in with us. Clark Kent is how Superman views us. And what are the characteristics of Clark Kent? He's weak. He's unsure of himself. He's a coward.
Clark Kent is Superman's critique
just said that. I just said, oh no, I forgot.
Do you want less lights? We got a lot of lights everywhere. It's fine? Okay. Okay.
This is pretty incognito though, right?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are live.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 2024 membership meeting of the Players Guild of Leonia. All right. Yeah. And are we cheering? Is there a cheer that goes with that? Okay. All right. What an excited bunch. Okay. All right. As Joanne Molt is not here, she has given us the minutes from the last meeting, and I guess I should be the one to read them? I guess? All right. So, minutes of the last meeting. Meeting started at 8 p.m. by yours truly. Minutes of March 21 general membership meeting, read by Joanne Molt and accepted. The treasurer's report provided by Robert Klein, operating budget $25,328, capital account $20,200 for a total of $45,528. Comedy night, March 23rd, cleared about $600 and was an enjoyable evening. We received 75% of the grant money, which was $3,800 from Bergen County, and we will receive the rest, 25% by January 25th of 2025. The money received was used for the diary expenses. Terry and Claudia met to speak about grant opportunities. It is very important to the group that we're able to secure some grants. And the third thing mentioned here is a donation was received in Jeff McCartney's name. Lovesick, the last 3 performances this weekend, obviously back then, all right? Show has done well, very funny show with some seats left. All right, applause update. There are still 3 open roles left for men. Show in rehearsal. We'll be looking for volunteers to staff the show starting on May 31st, and the show ends June 16th. Marshall Playwrights Showcase. The committee read over 90 submissions. It's mind-boggling, right? 5 plays were selected. Cast ages can range from 20 to 70. Roles and play info will be sent in an email blast. Auditions start May 6th. Directors will be Robert Klein, Lois Corwin, Matt Blum, Dory Person, and Linda Wilcots. Linda presented the 2024-2025 season. The Niceties, directed by Terry Kaust. Do you say it Kaust, or how do you say it? Kaust. It is Kaust, okay. All right, always good to say someone's name correctly. September 13th to 20th, it's 2 weekends. Romeo and Juliet, directed by Rachel Alt, November 8th through 22nd. Night of Disney, a musical, directed by Peter Downing, 1 weekend, December 12 to 15. Another weekend, 2 by 2 by Broadway, a musical directed by Joanne Molt, February 14 to 16. The Normal Heart, directed by Claudia McDermott, March 25th to April 6th. And closing out the season, a musical directed by Carol Fisher, Desperate Measures, May 30th to June 16th. We don't have Playwright Showcase dates in here.
Look at look at that beautiful poster. Nice.
So when we call for additions or corrections, you'll add that in, all right? Our guidelines state that all shows must have a producer, a consultant director, and an assistant to the director. Chapter 2. Lovesick Strike. Steve Molt will be here Saturday, April 27th to strike Lovesick. It is also a work day. There will be 2 crews. Steve will be upstairs striking the set. Dan will be downstairs cleaning and rearranging the basement for better storage options. We really need your help. There is a lot to do, lunch to be provided. Happenings. Stacy Block will be doing improv session this Sunday via Zoom. Mark will resume Broadway workouts in June, date to be announced. Please submit any shows you are in other theaters to the prompter so we can publish our members' other performances. Peter Vecnoris, Melissa Miller, and Jeff Parsons are in A New Brain at Old Library Theater in Fair Lawn. This is their last weekend coming up. Melissa Gore and Cheryl Wirtz are in A Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime at Bergen County Players. Opens this weekend for 4 weekends. Typo things. Okay, congratulations to Dan Giordano and Melissa Miller on their recent engagement. It was, okay. There was I guess he did put a ring on it. Just couldn't miss that one. Okay, there was a fire alarm triggered opening night, Saturday night of Lovesick due to a leaking hot water heater. Dan will be replacing this next week. And wasn't that fun? We'll be selecting a new board of trustees. We'll be selecting a new board of trustees at the May 16th members meeting. At that time, nominations can be taken from the floor. If there are nominations from the floor, then we will need to vote for the 4 people. Otherwise, we accept the slate presented by the nominating committee. All nominees have to be a member in good standing for 2 years. Steve Molt presented the slate. When we have these people here, okay? Now, is it Reese or Rice? What? It is Reese. Okay, I thought that's what it was. Jody Reese, Michael Seymour for 3-year terms, and Lois Corwin and Marissa Dolcart for 2-year terms. New business, Joanne brought up that when anything unusual happens, i.e. falls, fire alarms, safety concerns, we should be making out an incident report. Joanne will make up a form for this. Robert will start publicizing season subscriptions. Meeting adjourned at 9:20 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Joanne Molt, Secretary. Any additions or corrections to those minutes?
It's the Disney storybook, right?
The Disney songbook.
Songbook, and the Disney songbook.
The Disney songbook.
And the playwright showcase was left off. That's again the last weekend.
Okay, and because we only have this one, Mike, what are the, should we tell the dates for the showcase? Doesn't matter because we're going to announce it elsewhere. Okay, all right, great. Okay, move to accept the minutes as amended?
Yes.
All in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? Leaving the country? Okay. All right, so next is the treasurer's report. Robert, so you're up. We need to record you, so you got to get up here.
Oh, God.
Come on. It's not going to kill you.
You may. Let's see. Okay. Operating for May is $37,882.75. Capital stayed the same, $20,200, bringing our total to $58,082.75. Compared to last year of May was $34,322. So we're doing okay. We've had a good year. Major expenses outside of the usuals was we did pay and replace the hot water heater down in the basement, and that was $1,220. On the plus side, I don't know if this was mentioned last month, so we did get the grant from the Bergen grant for $3,825, and we got a donation from John Richard Stenkin Jr. Charitable Trust of $2,500 that seems to come twice a year. So it looks like he donates about $5,000 a year. Any of you folk here or out there, you don't need to wait till you die. You can donate earlier. Okay, final note is we have I think this is pretty much the final number for Lovesick. We made a profit of $4,961. So very nice to the lovers.
Don't you love hearing numbers like that, right? Donations and profit from shows, how cool is that? All right, so let us now talk. Mark, how many people are joining us live stream? We have 7. And do we know who they are? We do not. Do we? Okay. Okay, those of you who are on live stream, would you please, and where do they put this?
In the chat.
There is a chat. All right, so just click on your screen, the chat, and then put your name in there so we know who is joining us. We'd love to know who you are.
We're watching.
We are watching. Mark says we're watching. Okay, all right. So let's review for everybody what the process is for accepting nominations from the floor and those via live stream. From the floor is easy. Obviously, you can raise your hand in a moment and nominate someone for the board if you are interested in doing so. Because we have 2 seats open for 3 years and 2 seats for 2 years, if you nominate someone, you do need to specify whether that individual is for a 2-year term or a 3-year term. Okay, so same for the folks at home. All right, so those of you who are on live stream, if you wish to nominate someone, we will give you that opportunity. Please text the name or names of those you wish to nominate, along with is it a 2 or a 3-year term, to Diane Arabella. You've gotten that number in several places, but I'm going to say it again. Diane is 201-388-6239.
Or me.
Shall I say it again? No, well, that's for the voting. This is just, yeah. All right, so once again, Diane's number is 201-388-6239. So as we go on with the agenda, if you wish to nominate someone, live stream people, please text Diane. Meantime, this would be a good time to ask everybody here, any nominations from the floor? Anyone you wish to nominate to serve on the board? Should we play music while we wait? No?
We're done.
Going once, twice, 3 times? Sold? Okay. All right, those of you at home, we have plenty of time if you wish to nominate someone. All right, we have to give people that option. All right, so Linda, if you would come up to the mic and give us an update on applause, please.
Is this, Diane asked a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is this it? Because do we have
I'm sorry?
Do we have to worry about this being a quorum?
Well, unfortunately, what the rules say in terms of a quorum, we don't have that. But I think, you know, we have to work with who we have. If we have members here in good standing, that's right. And so if there are no other nominations, we do that by acclaim. But yeah, you know, supposedly we need to have 25% of our active membership. We don't have that here. Yeah.
We talked last month about not having a rehearsal on the night of the meeting. I don't know if the rehearsal's going on.
Yes, there is an applause rehearsal tonight, and there's a reason for that. Linda, do you want me to say? Or do you wish to? All right, but
They have had issues. They had a choreographer his mother was terminally ill, which set them back. And, I mean, they're catching up on everything now. But they are also aware
okay, but
that
Linda, we really need that recorded. So can you come up here and say whatever you're going to say? Thank you.
they're behind on rehearsal. And then they're catching up. They had a choreographer whose mother was terminally ill and passed away, and now they're catching up with all of that, and they need the time. Also with people that, it's a large cast, so people who weren't here, they're getting them in. But, you know, we've got all these people that just joined, these new people, that whether or not they would be here to vote, quite honestly. Do you think so? I don't think so. So, okay, thank you.
Do you have anything further to say about applause, ma'am?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
We're going on to that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Number
Yes, so anyway, applause opens up on the 31st. Please use your member ticket. Please sell tickets. This Saturday is a work day. I mean, there is some building. I mean, they want to frame like the stage and make this like an older like abandoned or like theater. And then they want to just cover, like reface the keyboard to make it look like a piano. But it's moving around a lot of stuff, like placing flats and furniture and covering them with drop cloths. So we need hands in moving that kind of stuff. And it starts at 10 o'clock on Saturday. So again, just sell tickets and please come to see the show. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. There is also a form that has gone out now several times, an email with volunteers. Where are we on volunteers, Robert? You're very on top of that?
Actually, we're pretty good. First week is good. Second week is, it's filled up a lot.
Yeah, but we need the second and third weekend we still need volunteers for house.
We need some ushers. Looks like tickets is all filled up, so usher, come and stand there and point at a seat. Be helpful.
Okay, so I assume there will be yet another email going out with the sign-up sheet. So encourage those you know to help out. It is, after all, everybody's theater. Okay, Marshall Playwright Showcase update, Robert?
Okay. We had auditions the past weekend. We had a good turnout. We've got everything cast. We have a few new faces and some familiar faces. I think rehearsals have pretty much started with everybody, and it's the weekend of June 28th, 29th, and 30th. That's really all I have. It'll be a nice show. It's 5 shows, so it'll go quickly. It's a nice afternoon or evening, and tickets will go on sale probably in another week or so. I think that's all I got, right? There's nothing else.
All right. Okay. Next season is upon us, which is
June 28th, 29th, 30th.
the last weekend in June. The last weekend in June. All right.
Okay, so next season is therefore almost upon us. There are auditions coming up for the very first show. The opener will be Niceties. Terry is here. Terry, would you come to the microphone and tell us anything you want us to know about your show and the auditions?
We're doing The Niceties by Eleanor Burgess, and it's a two-character play, a college professor and her young student. And the notices about the auditions will be going out shortly. It's June 2nd at 7 o'clock, June 8th at 10:30, and if we need it, June 9th at 7. It should be minimal in its requirements because it's a college professor's office and modern dress, but it's going to be kind of heavy duty because the college professor comes with her her mindset about having gone through the 60s and the protests and all those kinds of things. But on the other hand, her student is here with the Me Too movement and Black Lives Matter and all of that kind of stuff. So it's very much a conflict between the two of them. And it's interesting because they're both right. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited that the committee picked this, and come on down for auditions.
What are the roles? Can we tell
It's a college, yes, there are two roles, a college professor in her 60s and a college student in her early 20s, black. The professor must be white and the student must be black. Right. Thanks.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Speaking of next season, which we were, all right, not going to be no surprise to anybody, there are many jobs to be done here to run this wonderful organization. So we're going to be looking for people to take on a role, something that you've never done before, something that you're good at. If we all do a little bit, good things get done. All right, so we're going to need people for membership. We're looking for people for grant writing. And yes, Stacy, I would like the information of your friend because we'd like to at least have a conversation and see what that all entails. All right, people to chair and or help with sound, lighting. We need stage managers for shows. We need a historian. I don't know if Annette is going to continue in that or not, but that's another important thing. Hospitality, costumes, there's a lot of things that get done to make all of this happen. So we're also going to be looking for people who are interested in producing. We need assistant directors for each show. We need stage managers. We want to be able to do some workshops next season, not every month, but some workshops. So if any of that is making you go, ooh, that could be me. Yes, it could. Let's talk. Let's talk. Because what we don't want to do is have to call you up or camp on your doorstep and beat you into submission. We're looking for people to volunteer. I'll do it if I have to, but we're looking for people to volunteer. Okay, so building update. You heard we have a new hot water heater. That was a fun evening when the alarm went off. Who was here? Who was here that evening? Yeah, that was. At least the show was done when the alarm went off. Thank goodness, all right? We have handled, I believe, or are in the process of handling the several fire department violations. Things like that. Having that area over there filled with stuff that blocks that exit is one of the things that they will fine us for. They will ding us for, all right? Don't you love it? Okay, yes? Yes.
I thought my MacBook was 100% charged. I'm about to go dead, and when this laptop goes off, we're going to lose the screen. Does anyone have a charger with them?
Oh, dear.
Can you see in the chat, did anybody put anything in the chat as far as a nomination?
No.
No.
All right, you have received no texts. Okay.
Like for the iPhone 15 or 14.
No, and I don't have no one has a charger? My kingdom for a horse? All right, those of you at home, we may lose you. Sorry. Well, you know what I can do is I can at least record it on the iPad if you want me to do that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for coming to the rescue. All right, other things, the cleanup strike day went very well. I understand there is more work to be done, but both Dan and Steve said it was wonderful how many people came down to help that day. And of course, as you heard, there is another work day this Saturday. Dan Seitz, who is working on Applause, is going to be running a work day to build a set and do all the magical things that have to get done. We are also working on a possible storage solution because we're all aware that storage has been an issue for many years, and now that we've acquired a number of things, some of it from the Rhino folks when they closed, we need elbow room. So Dan and Steve have been talking to some folks in the town. We're looking at some possibilities, more to come on that as we get more information. All right, so have we received any nominations from the live stream folks? No. We have not. All right, we've given them 10 minutes? Think that's enough? All right, so then now is the time to ask, are there any nominations here from the floor?
We did that already.
I'm going to do it one more time to make sure, just to make sure, as opposed to somebody saying, I don't remember hearing you say that. I wanted to say something, right? If there are no nominations, then what we do is we vote to accept the slate. Beth, would you please tell us once again who's on the slate?
Do it quick before somebody else is nominated.
So our nominations for the 2 3-year terms are Jody Weiss and Michael Seymour. And for the 2 2-year terms is Marissa Dolkart and Lois Corwin.
Do we need to make it official and everybody raise their hands, or are we good? Was that applause just like we accepted everybody? Okay, you're stuck now. We got you. Okay, well, welcome. Very exciting to have you guys work with us. All right, so that was easy. All right, theater activities coming. Mark, do you want to talk about your Saturday sessions? Do you want to tell everybody? Or we could keep it a secret.
I run this Broadway workout. It's like an aerobics class. I do it to Broadway show tunes. It's 45 minutes. We do it on the deck. And
what, are we suddenly shy? Come, speak.
I do this Broadway workout. It's like a Zumba class. I do it to Broadway show tunes. 45 minutes. If it's raining, we come inside. If it's too hot, we debate it, and then maybe we come inside. But it's a lot of fun, 45 minutes. And it starts June 8th. We're going to run it all summer.
Saturday and Sunday?
No, just Saturdays.
What time?
10 o'clock. And it's free. But we have a little cup up there, not for me, for the Guild. Donations. Please, sir, I'd like some more. Give me a stretch. And we can kick. All right, that's it. I hope you come. It's fun.
All right, okay. Every Saturday, rain or shine, right?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Stacy, do you want to once again tell everybody about your ongoing incredible record of improv sessions?
Okay.
No.
No.
Just so you know, Pat Phillips applauded for the new people on the board.
Thank you, Pat. All right.
So every week I send out an email to people on a distribution list and invite people to take an improv session. It's only 40 minutes of your life. It's a lot of fun. There are people who've been doing it on a regular basis. Some people have never tried it. I encourage you, if you haven't tried it, just try it. And you never have to come back again if you don't like it. But I think you'd like it. And those people who have tried it, we haven't seen in a while, we'd love to see you again. This week it's going to be on Sunday night at 8 o'clock from 8 to 8:40. So if you'd like the link, let me know, and I'll send it to you. That's it. Thank you.
And there's a money-back guarantee. Oh, wait, it's free, right? Never mind. Okay. All right. The board talked the other night that we're going to, because it was so much fun last summer, we're going to plan once again to have a barbecue, get lots of our members here, and do a movie night that same night. It was great when we did it last year. So Mark left the room. Did we come up with a date Tuesday night?
Oh, we did?
It is July 13th, right? I thought so. Okay, July 13th, mark your calendar. All right, and let's see, what else do we have? Okay, Mark has left the building because we have something else. Mark is doing something special that he has put together, and I was hoping that he would announce that. Do we know where he went? He went outside.
He went to get the power cable, too.
Oh, okay. Yours didn't work?
No, I don't have the block. The cord, not block here.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll wait. We could actually just sit here and drum our fingers on the table and wait for him to come back. No, we'll do. Okay.
Can I just
Huh?
thank Dan?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank Dan for especially doing the the water heater so quickly after
Yes.
the fire?
Yes, Dan, in his very busy schedule, within a matter of days, was able to get rid of the leaking unit and replace the hot water heater, which is in an interesting place. It is under here, which means it's in this very tiny space and it's high up. And I watched him one night as he did this thing with a ladder that he has to pump up in order to get it up to the ceiling and then bring the old hot water heater down. I was like, I'm going to step back and get out of the way. Looked very significant. Okay, so when Mark comes back, I will ask him to announce the special thing that he is putting together. Is there any new business? Hello? New business? I guess not. All right.
Thoroughly covered.
Thoroughly covered. Okay. Hark, I hear a door. This is perhaps Mark. What you got? No, don't got it? Okay, talk fast and finish the meeting, Claudia. All right. Mark, would you like to announce the special event you are putting together in Fort Lee? Yes, sir. Okay. Vamp a little? Okay. All right. A reminder that the last membership meeting of this season is June 20th. So plan to be here. I think we should do something nice together to celebrate and mark the end of a successful season. And in a moment, drum roll please, we will have Mark come up to the microphone and tell you about the special thing, his creation, his idea that he's putting together. Okay? Okay.
There's always something going on at the Guild. So anyway, a few months ago, I've gone to see a lot of shows this season at BCP and OLT and Roundtable, and there were some excellent shows. And so we had this idea, Claudia and I were talking about, like, doing some sort of a collaborative performance would be very exciting to bring everyone together and do something. And the question is, where would we do it? What type of a format? I don't want to bore you with all the details, but last summer I was at Jeff McCartney's house, and he said to me, have you been to the Barrymore Theater? I said, no, I've been meaning to go. He says, you have to go up there. It's amazing. And, you know, it's a great venue, and you might be able to do something there. Well, I went there, and lo and behold, the executive director ran the audiovisual department of Dumont High School when I was in high school there. So we reconnected, and I told him my idea, and he thought that was great, and he basically said, whatever you want to do, I'll help you do. So that has evolved. I had a breakfast 2 or 3 months ago with some of the board members from all of those groups. Everyone seemed to be on the same page. Let's do something. Then again, so I kept working. 2 months went by. I sent out another email, and we were going to have another breakfast. And then after I met with Nelson, the executive director, he said, why don't you meet here so